Okay. Welcome everyone to LiveWIRE YouTube Live episode 5, how to plan your business, specifically using the business model and business plan. Okay, so I think we can bypass this at this point. I assume everything's fine. Video quality is fine, audio quality is fine, slide fine, chat, checking, yes. Okay lah, on my side it seems fine anyway. Okay, so if the users wants to double check the chat juga, dipersilakan. Okay, so let's begin. So the contents today is introduction, biasalah, especially for those who it's their first time to watch this series, and then we're gonna look into the planning techniques or planning methodologies, especially the business model canvas, lean canvas, and business plan. And in addition, we'll share the business plan competition, specifically the LiveWIRE related ones, and later we'll share more about LiveWIRE, especially if this is your first time. So, introduction. So the stream is a series of entrepreneurship topics. For those who have followed from the beginning, this is episode 5, and then snippets of it will be used for video content for online referrals. Topic shared will be summary of workshop contents. So the workshop that we conduct. So basically these topics are covered as well, but probably in more detail, and especially if you have questions, apalah. Then discussion and Q&A between main topics. So if I notice any questions, I will check on them. I will answer them as soon as I can. And for any viewers out there, please share with anyone you think might find this useful or entertaining at least. Okay, so future content. So right now we're in May. So that's business model and business planning. So we've done introduction to entrepreneurship, business ideas, sources of funding, and legal considerations. And today we're doing business model and business planning. So in the future, we'll cover more market research strategies and so on. So if you're interested in those, stay tuned to the LiveWIRE channel. So subscribe and make sure update all notifications. Okay, so for those who don't know me, my name is Muhammad Fadlah Tudun Milhaji Hassan, alias Muhammad Sebelah Bobby. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm also an endurance athlete. I love business, IT, and science. And above all, I like to share my knowledge with people. So that's why I'm an educator and a facilitator. My formal education is almost normal, but the strange thing for most people is I actually went into science stream, but somehow I ended up in business. So most of my business knowledge is from informal sources especially from pusat sumber under MIPR dulu, MIPR, but now MPRT, and then LiveWIRE. Before even there started as well, it was just under iCenter, and then a few of my other knowledge and knowledge I get is also from something called Learn My Education and Money and You and the Industry Rockstars. So you can probably Google them up. Waalaikumsalam. Okay. So I hope you'll enjoy, Mas Serina. Okay, thank you for subscribing, and hopefully you turn on notifications. Without notifications, you won't get updated when we have another live one. So my business experience from graphic design to ICT facilitation to internet cafe to even a swimming school right now. So in all of this, I think when I did my internet cafe, I didn't do any much planning, but most of my other businesses I did planning after that. So business planning, let's go at these are the topics that we're going to cover: business model canvas, lean canvas, and business plan. So when people talk about business planning, business plan is the general idea, the general topic, but something related to the business plan relatively recently, about like 10-12 years now, is business model canvas and lean canvas. So when we look into planning, we have to plan the whole part of the business. So in the business plan, you start from the ideas, the planning and preparation, what you need to start the business, the funding that you need to start the business, the assets and stocks that you need to buy to start and run the business. Don't forget the legal processes and the rental expenses. And then operations and organization, so organizing who are in the business and what they're going to do. And then marketing and sales, and don't forget admin and finance. So all of the aspects of the business you need to put down on paper. To what extent, we'll discuss later lah. Okay, planning preparation, usually the business plan. So there's the basic content, business profile, product and service, market research, market strategy, operation, organization, finance, and future plan. So that's the basic content, but depends on the reader, especially either the banker or investors, or if it's government grant, they will request specific things. So include those as well. So don't just follow whatever I give here. You can add or remove as necessary. Okay, uh, why you need a business plan? There's several reasons. So one is to own, to use for yourself, for your own, to start a business. It is possible to start a business without a business plan, but it's more smoother once you have a plan. You can probably think about traveling from, let's just say, hopefully soon, we'll be able to travel from one place to another more easily. So like Brunei to KK. Or even Brunei to KL. So yeah, if you don't plan like what clothes to bring, what stuff to bring, how much money you need to bring, then when you're there, say, oh no, I forgot. So that can happen with business as well. So you need to plan more properly. And then bank loan, that's usually requested by the banks. If you loan money from bank, they will ask details: how much money you need, how much can you pay, how much can you make, how can you pay back in return, and so on. Same thing with investors. Although banks, they will focus more on how much you can pay back. Investors, how much money you can make for them. There's a slight difference. Grant application in Brunei, there's not a lot. The main one right now is the co-matching grant from there. Also, they do require a simple business plan. You can check from their website for the co-matching grant, one of the few requirements. Then incubation or renting government facilities, they will require you to give them a basic plan. Starting cooperative, in process of registration, they will require a business plan. Managing and running a business as a business owner or manager, or if you're giving someone else to manage the business, you'll need a business plan. And relatively very recently as well is schools. So schools like IBTE, high institutions like UBD, UTB, they may have entrepreneurship module where the students are required to create a business plan. Okay, so creating a business plan is very important. They're saying if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. So it gives the reader, whether it's the manager themselves or the bankers, a very good idea how the business runs, from management to operations to financials. So the research planning will reduce the failures and prepares for any contingencies, anything bad that might happen, and ultimately to explain to others, such as bankers, investors, partners, or employees even, on how you expect the business to work. So process of business planning starts with the idea, what business that you want to do. Then you research whether it's feasible, and if it's feasible, then you do it. So you start off with the idea. So we have several workshops in LiveWIRE where we can help you find business ideas if you don't have yet. One of them is these 3 circles. So most entrepreneurs, you will see they start their business starting with their passion, their skills and knowledge, and those things can make money. So if you look at my past history, you can see food and beverage business, food stall. I was into food. Most people are. So that's what the simplest business that people can go into. But afterwards was internet cafe and computer school. So I was into IT and education. So that's the business I went into. So recently, it's more like the recent 5 years, I'm more into sports, into health and fitness. So I'm coaching running and swimming. So following my passion and skills. So if you look at other successful entrepreneurs, most of them will most likely base on their passion and skills, and those are the things that they make money with. And then there's also business ideas based on needs. This is a sociological concept, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So these are what people need in order to survive, to live, to prosper. So you can base your business ideas based on the basic human needs. Again, for more information on this, you can either Google or you can actually join our workshops where we cover this a bit more in depth. So the general business planning, I will look into the in-depth business planning later. But first, let's look at the business model canvas. So this is actually a very recent development. I can't remember. There was a book called Lean Startup by Eric Ries, and then he mentioned this business model canvas from Strategizer. The story was he created business plans after business plans, but always got rejection. At some point, he got lazier, so he created one piece of page that showcases the basic ideas of the business, which ended up as this canvas, so-called the business model canvas. So if you're interested to look into it, you can you can scan this QR code, and then you will be able to access the business model canvas. I think there is a high quality version, so where you can zoom in and read the details. So I'll just cover the basics, but again, we have actually a workshop on business model canvas. So if you're interested to find out more, you can sign up for our business model canvas masterclass. There is actually a video on the business model canvas. So the link is there, and also you can scan the QR code to find out a bit more. It's just a basic 2-minute video, but I'm not gonna take the time to share here. So you can check it on your own time. I will probably put the link as well at the bottom, at the description later, so you can check it out. Okay. So the business model canvas, consists of 9 components or 9 modules, where it highlights the basic idea of the business. So we can look one by one of the business model canvas. So starting off with the value proposition. So this canvas is not really truly linear, right? It's not from left to right. You can either start from value proposition or customer segments. I usually prefer to start on value propositions because this is the simplest one. You want to do a business, so what are you providing? What value are you providing to the customers? And then after that is the customer segments, who are buying from you, who's paying you, who are your specific customers. I usually, when I teach, I say don't say all, because it's not everyone who's going to buy your products or services. So specify who will buy what products or services. And in some cases, different products or services might have different customer segments. And after customer segments, we can look into the channels and distribution. So how you market it to the customers. So you have the product, you have the customers. Now, how can you reach to the customers? How can can customers know about you, and how can the customers buy from you? So the channels and distribution. Then we can also look into the customer relations, or the customer relationship. So the most businesses is a simple buy and sell relationship, the sales transaction relationship, but it can be either deeper or more shallower. So when I say shallower, it's like there's no interaction whatsoever. The simplest example is ATMs. So you just put in your card, take out money, and that's it. When the normal relationship is when people go to the counter or queue up, then go to the counter, then interact with the customer. And then there's also the personal touch, a deeper relationship, where there's a more in-depth interaction with the banker or the manager. So there are different levels of the customer relationship. So you can either choose just one simple one, or you can choose the different levels. And then from there on, we can look into the revenue stream. So how are you making money? So with your value propositions, with your products and services, how are you making money? So simplest one again is buy and sell. So you're buying stuff to sell stuff, and you make money from them. And but then there's now several other models, where revenue models, where you can get money like from subscription. Example is previously Microsoft Office. You can just buy one-time fee, and then you'll practically own it forever. But nowadays, example MS365, then you pay rental to get they get continuous income from the rental or the subscription fees. And then Now moving on to the left side, I like to start off with the key activities. What are you doing in the business? Okay, what's the daily operations of the business? The basic things that you need to do. So a simple food stall would be buying the raw ingredients, cooking them, preparing them, and then selling them. That's the simplest one, huh? But it can be more in depth, more details. And then after key activities, you look at the resources. So once you identify what activities you need to do, for every activity, what are the resources that you need? What are the physical resources, the buildings, the human resources, the people that you need to do it, and the finances, the cost of it. How much money do you need to spend on them? So you don't have to detail the dollar sign yet. Just identifying the resources that you need. And then almost finally, second last is the key partners. So looking at your activities and your resources, what are the things that you can do by yourself, you put under resources. But the things that you need help from other people, then you put under key partners. The simplest one people usually put is the suppliers. But it can also be your investors, your business partners, or even your agents. So everyone that you need in order to run the business more smoothly. So this is also where you can put down who are you using to outsource. So example, in the business, like the food business, you have a runner service or the delivery service. Then these are also your partners. And finally, on the business model canvas, we have the cost structure. So what are the costs involved? In business plans, we usually cover the startup costs and running costs, and then the variable costs and the fixed costs. So basically, you can include those items here. Another way of looking at it is the capital expenditures and the operational expenditures. So what are the things that will cost you money in order to start and run that business? So that's the business model canvas. Okay, so again, it's a very simple way of identifying what you need in your business in order to run your business. So just checking if there's any questions on business model canvas. Again, a reminder, you can ask at any time. I will answer as soon as I can. So that's the business model canvas. And again, if you want to find more information, you can either download the image earlier from Wikimedia, from Wikipedia, but you can also access the original creator of the business model canvas from strategizer.com. So that's the link here, and there's also the QR code there, so you can scan with another device and you can access the website. You can probably even sign up for a course from the original creators of the business model canvas. So up next is the lean canvas. So this is basically a modification of the business model canvas by someone else. I think the name was Ash Mauri, I think. So it's more concise and quick way to formulate your business plan. Okay, so again, business plan is a more detailed document, and the structure is almost similar to the business model canvas. You might even see, I think more than half are the same. So there's the unit value proposition, there's the customer segments, the channels, and the cost structure and revenue streams. So the rest are slightly different, slightly off from the lean canvas. So again, there's another way of planning or checking the viability of your business. So one is not better. Well, they have their pros and cons, so they're not strictly better than the other. I personally prefer the business model canvas to have a clear idea of the business. But one of the interesting part in the lean canvas is the key metrics. So you can identify your objectives. So I'll look into that a bit more deeper later. So again, if you want the lean canvas, you can find it at leanstack.com. That's the link that I provide. I think it's a PDF. So it's a nicer looking document. So you can print it out and then put in as well, similar to the business model canvas. So let's look individually. So I like to note the previous lean canvas model is the lean canvas was just putting the title up on top, but recently they've added a few more details, I think, to give more depth to the lean canvas. So similar to earlier, to the business model canvas, is the unique value proposition. So they highlight the word unique. So you distinguish yourself from your competition. And then there's a high level concept down there: list your X for Y analogy. So what is your business? So example here is YouTube is Flickr for videos, or similarly I think Instagram is an online photo album. So it's an analogy that people may understand more easily. I think one of our members, he shared, like Lokman Al Hufaz is Uber but for Islamic education. So the idea so that people can understand. Then we have the customer segment similar to previous, but they highlight here early adopters. So who are the people who's going to buy from you as soon as possible, as soon as they see it, as they see the advertising, or if you promote it, they will be there just to buy it off you. So who are the ideal ones? So that's the target. When you try to market, that's who you target. And then channels similar. So what are the things that you need to do to advertise? So inbound or outbound. So whether you go out or you pull people in. So basic marketing strategy. And then we have unfair advantage. So this is something different from the business model canvas. So it is more related to the unit value provision, where they said what's unique. So what's unique is also what makes you special, but also it can be the unfair advantage. What is it? So why are you so special that no one else can copy? So this will be very challenging for normal business owners. So for the business model canvas, you can apply it to normal businesses, but lean canvas, this is where they want to highlight new businesses, new innovations, that involves like intellectual property or something. Okay, so what advantage that you have that others don't? And then we have problems, problem and solution. So list your top 3 problems, not your problems to be precise, it's your customers' problems as well. So then you can highlight or list down what are the ways that those problems can be solved today. So what are the common problems and how are they solved today? And then next is the solution. So outline a possible solution for each of the problem that you provide. Okay, and then key metrics. It's the key numbers that tell you how your business is doing. It's your objectives, your sales target, your marketing target, your social media target, your production target, and so on. So your target. So this is a bit more practical. So once you have the target, in order to identify how or when or why is your business successful, so that when you reach that target, then you can easily claim that's what you set off for and that's what you get. An easy one is like if you sell nasi katok, then you target, I want to sell 100 nasi katok a day. So that's the key metric. Another bigger key metric is I want to open up a stall every year. So that's a bit more a bigger target. It doesn't have to be dollar sign. It can be in terms of quantity or percentage. So finally, we have the cost structure. Again, similar to the business model canvas, where you list down your fixed and variable costs, and your revenue structure, where you list your sources of revenue. So this is nothing new if you compare to the business model canvas. Okay, so that was the lean canvas. So some people might confuse between the two. So I would say business model canvas was the original canvas. Then lean canvas is a so-called improvement on the lean canvas. Sorry, on the business model canvas. So lean canvas is an improvement on the business model canvas, or an upgrade from there. Okay, so no questions. Okay, so now we're gonna go into business plan. Okay, business plan, yeah. So a bit more detail on the business plan. But again, if you want to know more, or if you want to have an activity on writing up a business plan, join our workshop. If you haven't, or even if you have, some people who have taken our workshop love to take it again because they can easily create that business plan during the workshop. Okay, so the business plan contents, again, in general, these are the main contents. Okay, but keep in mind, depends on your reader, whether it's the banker, whether it's government, whether it's investor. So who's going to read it and what for? So General contents is exit summary, business profile, products and service, market research, market strategy, operations, organization or human resource management, financial strategy, exit strategy, and appendices. So I'm gonna list down a bit more details after this. So exit summary is a one-page part where you outline the general idea of the business. It's actually not that different from a business model canvas or a lean canvas. The main difference I would say is business model canvas and lean canvas is visual, where you see the items left and right, up and down, while exit summary is actually from top to bottom using the structure of the business plan itself. So I like to compare an exit summary to the 30-second movie preview of a 2-hour movie. And then business profile, that's where you describe who you are. So when if you're gonna ask money from the bank, you need to introduce yourself first. So who are you? What makes you credible to be given or lent money to? So you introduce the business to the reader, the legal structure, whether it's sole proprietor, partnership, sendiri berhad, or koperasi. If you're not familiar with those terms, again, I recommend joining our workshops. One is Bright Ideas, where we share the basic legal processes like registration and a few licenses. Okay, and then nature of business, what type of business are you going into? So food and beverages or service, education, manufacturing, IT, or whatever. And then you share your mission, vision, mission, and objectives. And you can also include the startup costs. Like out of the gate, you just ask, this is the amount of money that we need to start the business. Of course, you can also include this in the financial section later. Okay, and milestone and achievements, finally, in the business profile part. This, for an existing business, you are recommended to include your achievements. What have you done? If you've obtained a few projects before, if you've conducted a few projects before or obtained a few tenders, it's highly recommended that you show off what you've done before. So the more achievements you show, the more credible you are, the more likely you get funding. But if you're a new business, then you can just highlight the milestones that you want to achieve. What do you want to achieve within the next few months, short term and long term? Okay, and then products and services. So what are you providing? What is it? Who are you going to sell to? What problem are you solving? How much it will cost them? What makes it unique? Is there any intellectual property involved to make it more valuable? And you can also include sales forecast here, although again it's in the finances, but some people can include the sales forecast in the products and service. Note that if you compare the business model canvas and lean canvas with business plan, this is also similar to your value proposition. So what are you providing to the customers? Then is the market analysis. So usually there's 4 parts: customers, competitors, pest factors or market factors, and SWOT analysis. In the business model canvas, it highly focuses on just customers, just focusing on who you're going to sell to. Business plan, you go more in depth. So market analysis, not just who are you going to sell to, but who are also selling to them, your competition. And then the pest factors or the market factors that affects your competition and affects your suppliers, affects everything. So you identify what proof you have that the business is viable, it's feasible, it's profitable. And then SWOT analysis is basically summarizes your strengths and your weaknesses, and based on your market research, what opportunities are available, what threats are available, and of course, what can you do to overcome your weaknesses and threats. So again, this is a bit more detailed than the lean canvas and business model canvas. But bankers and investors like this information, then they can see whether there's a market for it in terms of customers, whether it's a competitive market, whether you can compete with your market, and whether the market factors are suitable for that business right now. So a general example right now is because of COVID, a lot of businesses were affected. So with all the social distancing measures, a lot of business shut down, from gyms to salons and so on. But now, very recently, most of those restrictions have been lifted, so we can expect the economy to grow up, to grow back again, to improve. But again, pending how well we handle this endemic phase. So again, you can take that into consideration, like the COVID issue. So what can you do about it? How does it affect you? Then market strategy. How can you tell your customers that you are there? So in the business model canvas is the customer, sorry, the channels and distribution, and the customer relationship. How can you attract your customers, and how can you keep your customers? In general, what's usually taught in market strategy is the 4Ps: the product, price, place, and distribution, and promotion. This can be looked in two ways. One is the content of your advertising. What product are you selling? What price are you selling it for? Where can people buy them? And why should they buy it now? Buy one free one car or whatever. Okay, so the 4Ps. But in terms of the marketing strategy contents of the business plan, you list down your products and their pricing, and then your place and distribution. If you're selling from your place, how strategic is it or is it not? Or if you're selling it at to agencies, so where are they? So what shops are you selling to? What retail stores are you selling to that they're selling for you? And then what promotion strategies are you using? Are you using social media? Are you using, or if you're social media, what social media are you using? And then advertising, banners, any promotional activities. So listing down all the market strategies. Then there's the okay, just highlighting the promotion advertising. It can be any of these categories, whether it's print, mass media, electronic, and personal. Not all are suitable for every business, but just sharing the extent to what you can do to promote your business. Next up is the human resource management. Okay, who are involved in the business? Usually people put their organization chart, roles and responsibilities, and their payroll costs, the personnel costs. So just identifying who is working in the business. It's quite common though for small businesses that they're the only ones, but you can also include your part-timers, your freelancers who are involved in the business. But it's also recommended to highlight the ideal structure for your business once it's grown. So you can do right now and in the future organization chart. Especially if you're getting funding, so you're expecting to get more funding to hire more people. So what are you using the money for if you are hiring more people? Operation strategy is how you run the business. So in relation to organization as well, what are they going to do? The day-to-day processes, or week-to-week, or month-to-month. The simplest format I can show is that diagram there: input, process, output. What do you need to buy in order to run business? How you're going to process it, and then how you're going to sell it. Example, again, in the food and beverage industry, you buy the raw ingredients, you cook them, prepare them, and then you sell and market them. That's a simple one, simple process. And then financial analysis and forecast. So a few of these items have been included in the other sections, but you can just put them all in the finances, where you put all the dollar signs. So startup costs, sales forecast, personnel costs, profit and loss calculations, cash flow forecast, balance sheet, and break-even analysis. Again, depends on the requirements of the reader. When I say reader, it's the banker or investor. So interesting, most banks in Brunei will just request for cash flow. Rarely they will ask for balance sheet. But if you can include, that'll be better. And if you're selling off your business or you're buying off a business, then a balance sheet is necessary. So you want to see what's the current status of the business. So if you're not familiar with financial analysis or finance or accounting, we do cover basics of cash flow accounting or financial accounting. But if not from us, there's also organizations in Brunei where you can learn financial accounting, and you'll be certified in that. I think there's a certified financial planner and certified personal accountant. I think there's CAT as well, certified accounting technician. So you can learn more. But for business, the simplest one is you need to know money in, money out, and then how much money you have left. But if you want to find out, if you want to learn more, then it's highly recommended. So the more you know, the more you understand about money, how to manage money, the more successful your business can be. And final part of the business is the business plan, is the future plans and exit strategy. So what are you going to do with the business in the long term? Are you going to hog it until you die? Are you going to expand? Are you going to sell it to the organizations? Most Bruneians will want to hand over their business to their family. So it's quite rare that we want to sell the business to other people. I think in other countries like Malaysia, Singapore, US, they want to sell or they want to go public. Sell includes being acquired, okay, or they merge with another company. And in certain cases, certain leaders will want to know your contingency plan. So what are you going to do if something happens? So technically, you can also include the COVID SOP here, the what's called the BCP, the Business Continuity Plan. So what happens if COVID happens? How it affects your business, and what you're going to do with your business. Okay, in addition, appendices, the things that you need to include in the appendices, what's after the business plan. Sometimes you just put in the summary in the main content and the details you put in the appendices. So it includes research materials, the sample of advertisings, your survey, your results. That's going to be a very thick if you print it out. Or full financial tables. Depending on the banks, the readers, how many years they want. Sometimes 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe even up to 5 years. Although to be honest, anything more than 5 years is unrealistic because things change. At the least 5 years, everything usually changes. So appendices. Okay, so a few tips and tricks, just sharing. So exhibit summary is what the reader will read first. So make sure that's interesting, that people want to read. Because if a reader, I get banker or investor, they receive 100 business plans. So if they want to save their time, they'll probably look at the exhibit summary. Not different from people buying books or reading books. So they will take the synopsis first. If they're interested, then they'll buy it. Market research. Show that your products have buyers. There are customers who are willing to pay. So some people do an MVP, minimum viable product, and they test it out and see if there's any interest. Market strategy. Show how you can reach your buyers, your customers. Show your IG, Facebook, or TikTok if you use TikTok. Your operations, you outline how your business is going to work. So if you can share how your business is going to work, the reader, the banker or investor will be more confident in your ability. So they know that you know what needs to be done in that business. Human resources, make sure that the people involved, if you have people involved, are credible, whether they have the qualifications or they have the experience. So let's just say if your advisor was Bill Gates, you can see how more credible that is. But of course, if he's not really your advisor, don't put him as your advisor. And finances, so startup and cash flow. So you know how much you need and how much you expect in return. So the simplest one, cash flow. So make sure there's not too much. So it's funny when people ask for $10,000, but within a year they'll be a millionaire. So that doesn't really make sense. So make sure it makes sense to the reader. Okay, so again, make sure the finances is proper. So again, if you're not familiar, you can join our workshops to learn more. Okay, common mistakes, exit summary, too short or too long. Sometimes too short, like one paragraph. If it's not informative enough, people might not be interested. Too long is more than 1 page. It's like, oh, when does this exit summary end? Or too boring. So it's too simplistic. Products, sometimes people share on the business plan the products, but they didn't share the pricing. Believe me, that's not a common mistake, but a mistake. That's a serious mistake. You share your products, but you don't set the price lists or the menu, or you don't have any pictures of the product and service. So people need to know what you're selling. People need to understand what you're selling. In terms of service, that's going to be a challenge, obviously, but at least you can share a diagram or a picture of that service. Like if it's a class, then a classroom. In my case, my swimming classes, then I share pictures of me teaching swimming. Then market research, none or too little sample study done. So sometimes I think this is a weakness for most people. They are not familiar with market research. So they don't know how to do it properly. And sometimes people just make it up. It's very obvious that people make it up when the statistics is round numbers like 10-20%. So that's probably like either, if it's 20%, it could be 2 in 4, 1 in 2, or 5 in 10. So it's too obvious. Okay, so make sure that your market research is done properly. Market strategy, you don't have a schedule or a budget set for that for that the marketing or promotional activity that you're doing. So people just list down. But if you have a plan for that, what you're going to do throughout the whole year, what's your plan? Like join consumer fair or go on TV or do TikTok every month. Again, if you have a strategy, people will be more confident that you are marketing your business. In operations, sometimes people don't put operations or they don't put any process involved in the business. Some people are too scared that if the process is too detailed that people will copy paste the business. I'll just ensure you that, to be honest, no one really knows the full detail of the business other than you. So don't worry too much about the process law. But just don't put too much details. Just ABC is fine. Like the input, process, output, it's fine. As long as you can share, you can show that you know what the business, how the business runs. And then financials, too optimistic or it's not included. Again, some people don't know how to do it, so they don't include it at all. So that's almost, I think in most cases, that's an automatic disqualification, because in terms of even competitions or from banks, they want to know how much money you need, but after that, then how much money can you make to pay for the money that you just borrowed. So you need to include the financials, or sometimes the financials are not formatted properly. I know some people who might just include their bank statements, money in, money out, but they didn't do categories for in from sales, in from capital investment, and so on. So include your financials. Okay, where to learn from? You can learn from LiveWIRE. Okay, so we do have courses on writing business plans, business model canvas, and lean canvas. We do collaborate with Dare as well, or you can read books. There's several books on business planning. On that note, I recommend E-Myth or the Entrepreneur Myth from Michael E. Gerber, and then Writing a Business Plan for Idiots and for Dummies. For Dummies is the yellow book, for idiots is the orange book. I'm very sure those are available in some libraries, especially the UBD library. And then internet, you can easily search. There's a lot of information. So you can even find samples. What I would recommend is howstuffworks.com. I'm not sure if they're still on. I can check later. Entrepreneur.com and bplans.com. So those are some resources that I've used before. Okay, then almost final part. Okay, business plan competition. So you now know how to write business plan more or less. What is a business model canvas or lean canvas? So what can you do with that other than for your own business? We also provide business plan competitions. So there are two that I want to highlight here. We just launched recently is the LiveWIRE Business Awards. So I'm going to share the information on the business awards. And again, if you have any questions on either on the business plan, business model canvas, or the business awards, please do so. Please ask in chat. Okay. So I have yet to see any questions in chat on business plan or business model canvas. Okay. Okay. So next. Okay, so business plan competitions, LiveWIRE Brunei Business Awards. So we recently launched. The project manager is Azim Mahdaud, or we call her Jimmy. So for more information, you can probably ask her. I do help with the sharing of this information as well. Okay, the objectives is to support or to showcase the entrepreneurs, especially for young entrepreneurs who need more help. But we need to know what you're doing, what you plan to do, and then we can support you. So from there on, we can either provide the funding. Okay, the prize money is funding, and the support we have from mentorship to training and so on, so we can help you grow your business. And the final objective there is to actually help you join a global competition. I'll share this one later as well, top 10 innovators. So from the business awards, we would like to find a list of winners there to join the international competition. So 7 focus areas in the business awards. Right now, it used to be 5, now it's 7. So now we've included environmental sustainability, smart manufacturing, agro-technology, social impact, digitalization, and business innovation and edutainment. So if you fall into any of these categories, you can join. These are the focus areas that you want to support. I mean, of course, there's simple businesses like the food industry, but that's quite commonplace. So we want something special. So we want something more impactful. For example, these ones are environmental sustainability. How can you help the environment? Smart manufacturing. I think even the recent press conference was talking about growing the economy. We need to do more manufacturing, and then agriculture on food security. So agri-technology, social impact on how the businesses help the local community, not just about profit, but also how to solve social issues. Digitalization, this is probably the easiest one that people can go into. So how can you use digital technologies to change your business processes? Even the simplest one, again, you can probably use this example, but that's, if I share this, then a lot of people will just follow. But we'll see how special your digitalization is. So in general, the simplest digitalization you can do is just put your business online. I mean, the simplest one is just put a website where you have your information that people can sign up. Okay, or they can buy, but you can also create other processes involved on how more that will. Okay, and then there's business innovation. Something new. How will you innovating your business? If there was any problems that you had in doing the business, what innovation you came up with to help yourself as well, probably helping other people. And then finally, we have the entertainment. How does your business promote education and arts and cultures in Brunei? So we also want to promote the entertainment industry in Brunei. This is kind of kesian lah entertainment industry in Brunei. So please, we will also want to have more entertainment. We can't just rely on outside entertainment. Okay, the categories and prizes. So the category 1 is the open category. Okay, so it's for businesses operating with a working product and services. So for existing businesses, there's the eligibility criteria and the non-eligibility criteria. So in general, you have to be Bruneian. It has to be a registered business with ROC or now OCP, and then you have to be operating. The business has to be operating with a working product or service. So you can't just register and you're not running the business. So please do run your business, and it has to fall under the 7 focus areas. And participants are expected to provide a demo of the working prototype or service during pitching. So if you can showcase, if you can bring a sample during the pitching, in general you get better marks when you have a working product or service. Ineligibility is our business awards who already won. So if you already won, you cannot participate again. So if you already won, so the same entrepreneur with even with if it's the same entrepreneur with a new business or product, so giving chance to other people to join as well. As mentioned, if you're not registered, you can't be eligible. And if you're an early stage entrepreneur, you have a proof of concept. That's not good enough. We want to have a prototype, something that people can see. Okay, and so any failure to fulfill these requirements will be disqualified. Okay, once you join, you are expected to join all the phases. So there are a few phases later I'll share. Okay, and then category 2, higher institutions. So studentpreneurs with a working demo prototype inclusive of UBD, UTB, IBT, Polytechnic Brunei, UNISA, and other private colleges. So there, if you list everyone, it's going to be a long list. So the eligibility is the same. Okay, but if you have a demo, even better. But the ineligibility, notice that you don't not having a demo does not disqualify you, so you can still join. But recommend if you have a demo, if there's a business with a demo and a business without a demo, then the one with the demo has higher marks. Again, similar ineligibility, but it's basically just if you've won before that you can't join. And you also don't need to be registered in this case because you're in school, and most likely some of university graduates are still under 18, so they probably wouldn't be eligible to register a business. So higher institution. So that's category 2. So for each category, there's the cash prize. So open category is $10,000 for first place. Second place is $7,000. Third place is $5,000 for open category, which is generally the existing business. Then category 2 for institutions, for people who don't even have a registered business, for students who are studying in those listed institutions. Then first place is $5,000, second place is $3,000, and third place is $1,500. So these cash prizes you can do with whatever you want, although we highly recommend you use it to start, run, or expand your business. So hopefully that you are mature, that you want to use a huge portion of that money to actually expand your business. So we want to build your business as well. Okay, the program timeline. So in general, we've already launched this month. So registration is already open. Once registration, you have to register in the initial phase. If you don't register, then you're not going to be eligible. You won't be invited to any of these activities or events. So we have a boot camp where we'll set up a few master classes, mini workshops to help you with your submission. And then there's the business plan series workshop. Usually I will be conducting that. So the business plan contest I was informing you earlier, which I covered like less than half an hour. So you can actually learn more in depth. You can actually create your own business plan from that business plan workshop. And then in October 10, that's the business proposal submission. In general, we recommend the people who have joined the whole program to submit the business plan. There might be some shortlisting involved if there's a lot of submissions, and only a few will be pitching. But in general, I think we usually don't have that much submission. I mean, there's a lot, but not like in the hundreds or the thousands. So we can probably include everyone to do pitch. And then the prize presentation ceremony is on November 23rd. So the winners will be the winners will be informed there. In general, everyone will be invited. Everyone who's submitted the business plan or registered will be invited to the event. The winners will be informed then. Okay. There's a few last questions. I think we also include all these details in our website, so just check. So a few common questions. So do you have to register? So again, if you have any questions that's not covered here, please share on the chat. Just double checking on the actual. I'm afraid my OBS might not be updated, so I'm just in case, I'm going to open up the YouTube live on my phone and checking the chat. Okay, so still the same. Okay, so do you have to register? Yes. So if you're not registered, you won't be updated with all the information. So how do you register? So opened on 16 May recently. So you can register at the website livewirebrunei.com/business-awards. Is it free to register? Yes, it's free, but open to yellow and red IC only. What happens after you register? You will get an email confirmation. But if you don't, please contact us at inquire@livewirebrunei or inquiry.livewirebrunei@gmail.com. And if you're part of a group, do you register for yourself or register individually? The founder, the lead should the founder, project manager, or lead should be registering the company and filling the information for the core team. So one person registers for the whole team. And then will the information be cascaded to the whole team? It's shared over email to the founder or lead on behalf of the company. So it's your responsibility to share with your partners, with your group, with your team. When is the deadline for registration? It will be on the 30th June, so next month. So you have to register by then. If you don't register by then, you won't be eligible to submit your business plan and you won't be eligible to win. So please register before 30th June. I think in the registration, you don't actually have to have a business plan. Just a rough idea of your business is good enough. Is it compulsory to submit your business plan? Yes, you need to submit your business plan for. Oh, okay. So here, okay. So the core business ideas before proceeding to the next phase. So the submission, yeah, your basic business plan. Does my business idea have to fit in the 7 focus areas? Yes, it should. So those are the focus areas. Although I would say you can probably just, if you're unsure, you can just join, and then once going through the workshops, you might have ideas on how your business idea can fit into the 7 focus areas. Because again, those focus areas, some of them seem overwhelming. So you might not realize it, but you might fit into those areas, but you won't know until you join. So I would say just register, even if you don't think it is, or if you have doubts, just join. Is it compulsory for the whole team to attend the workshops? It is not compulsory for the whole team, but do send at least 1 to 2 representatives from the company to attend the workshop throughout the whole duration. So at least one person attends, and so then they can cascade the information to the rest. If I change my business product in the middle of the process, will I still be eligible to participate? Yes, you are eligible to participate if the product falls under the 7 core areas, unless you'll be disqualified. Okay, as long as it still fulfills the criteria, you're still eligible. So here's where I mentioned, even if you don't think it is, you think maybe, so you just put it there, but you can change later. And where was I? Okay. Can I submit more than one entry form? You can only submit one entry form for a company in one category. So technically you can, but it has to be a different company and a different category. But give chance to people lah. Okay. So plus if you have more than one company to register, then that's just a lot of work. So just focus on one business idea. Okay, so to register, you can scan the QR code, and this will lead you to the form, the online form. So you can register to the competition. You can also check our social media on IG and Facebook for more updates. If you see, if you're still thinking about it, if you wanna wait for a while, that's okay. But the earlier that you register, the easier you can get through the day, or else you think, should I join, should I not, should I join, should I not? So you're just spending your time thinking whether you should join or should you not. But once you've registered, then at least that's out of your thoughts already. So just register. Okay, again, it's free to register. So that's the business awards. And after business awards, we will recommend you to join the TTI, the Top 10 Innovators. So again, you can find this online, Top 10 Innovators 2022. So I don't think I'm going to go in detail, because most of the information is already on the website. But in general, categories are 3: social impact, environmental sustainability, and business innovation. So you might notice it has similarities to the business awards competition. So there are eligibility for who can apply. Then there's also examples. Again, that's for category 1. Again, social impact, environmental sustainability, and business innovation. Okay, so are you eligible? In general, any alumni from LiveWIRE is eligible. So if you are not, then just join any one of our courses. Then automatically you're eligible. So other things applies as well. So you have to be a registered business, working prototype, and okay. People who have joined before but didn't win are still eligible to join. So we'll also be informing you directly as well. I think if you haven't, we probably already have. So this is open to other countries. So this is the international competition, so you can join as well. And how can you apply? There's the processes. Again, you can look it up. Category identification. Okay, so we will have to confirm you're an alumni to the LiveWIRE International. So you can't just register just like that. You can, but we'll be confirming that you are an alumni. So we have a database of all our alumni, so we can confirm that. Okay, selection. So there's 3 stages. First stage, shortlisted. Second stage, voting, and then third stage, judged by international panel of judges. And you can, so it hasn't opened yet. So you can, I think, register soon, if not already. But the voting will be in September. You can either vote for yourself or for anyone else to vote. Of course, how it works is you ask your customers to vote for you as well. Okay, what can you win? Financial prize. Each category has a winner and runner-up. So each winner will receive $20,000, while the runner-ups receive 10,000 US dollars. I forgot to put US. So there are the awards as well. Okay, so how can you be informed? Just follow Twitter at LiveWIRE International. Okay, that's that, LiveWIRE INTL. Or if you have any questions, just email Belem Socedo at dai.com. Okay, so don't forget to apply. So this is the timeline: June entrepreneurs next month. Entrepreneurs apply, shortlisted in September, public voting in October, and final judging at the end of October, and November will announce the winners. So it's very parallel with our business awards competition right now. So yeah, if you're already making the business plan, might as well do two things at once. The saying is kill two birds with one stone. So why not? Melayunya selam sambil minum, which is actually disgusting. But okay. So that's my sharing on the LiveWIRE Business Awards and the LiveWIRE International Top 10 Innovators. So just a reminder, we have other programs. If you're interested, you can join. But if you're joining our Business Awards, you can join those workshops. Well, some of the workshops that we've gathered from here for free. So, so join, register. Okay, so we have so I've covered this already. So I think we're just gonna skip. So okay. So just a reminder. So next month we'll be covering market research. Okay. Of course, if you're joining the bootcamp or the business plan series, I cover that anyway. But this is just for online content. So market research for next month. Any questions so far? Okay. So checking from my phone, no questions. Okay, so on time, 3:30. Okay, so just waiting for like at least 1 minute before I shut down the stream, because I know there's a delay from my recording and to it showing on YouTube live. So I'm just giving a chance for you to ask any questions. I'm just checking the YouTube stream. That's at least 1 minute. There's a 1 minute delay. So what else can I cover? That's the end of the slide. Yeah. Oh, so if you want to find out more about LiveWIRE, you can just scan this QR code, and it will lead you to the website. And I didn't connect my. That's funny. Haha. Okay. So I've been streaming without the use of power supply. Bet you betrayed. Okay. Oh, okay. This session can be lihat lagi karang? Yes. So right now it's still recording. So macam like the press conference is recording. So while it's recording, nampak the level. Probably can. Depends on the recording. But yes, we'll probably edit dulu. Okay. Thank you for the. Okay. So yes, you can watch this again later, or you can watch this again and show with friends kapa. You can refer, especially if you're not look into yang tadi what I shared was the business model canvas, the lead canvas, the business plan, and the business award competition and the TTI. So those were the things that I shared. So if macam dia tertangkap, then you can review. That's the good thing about kami buat arah YouTube live ni. So terus berecord, terus you can refer later. Okay, you're welcome. Okay. Macam chat tu lagi cepat. So apparently it's bouncing back arah my phone with a significant delay. But some of you are seeing the video a lot earlier. Okay, so that's cool. Okay. Saya lihat. Okay, so if no other question, I think I already given extra time lah while I was answering that question. So ada excess 5 minutes lah. Okay, so I hope you found the stream to be informative. Again, if you want to find out more, you can find out arah LiveWIRE, and please register for the business plan competition. Notice the business plan competition kalau dulu ada age restriction. You might notice there's no more age restriction. So join lah. I think dia pasal aku tu walaupun aku sampai beliau sudah so it's not because of that, memang tukar sudah ada kategori apa tu, so regardless of age. Okay, so if nothing else, thank you very much. See you around, if not in real life, maybe itulah in the next session. So hopefully I see you again next session. Should be again, we're doing this once a month.